How to lead YOLO RBGs for dummies?
Foxy, don't alienate your audience.
Fury warriors?
There are a few of them that watch this channel too.
Noobs?
Nope, not getting any better.
Okay. How to lead YOLO RBGs for everybody?
Generic and boring, but it gets the point across without offending the world. Except that troll in the comments. You'll still have to filter him out. There's no helping him.
In last week's video, I shared a few thoughts on when and why you'd want to run some YOLO RBGs. Today, we're going to talk about how to start your own. Maybe you're brand new to RBG leading. Maybe you're playing in the same room as people having a heated discussion about the current leader of your country. For whatever reason, sometimes you're just not in the mood for getting into a voice server, yet you still want to do some RBGs. In those cases, you can run your own. At the very least, you're going to want to put in a minimum amount of effort, though, in order to make sure that your teams are viable and capable of getting a few wins. Step 1. Find a few friends, at least one. Putting yourself into Pugfinder solo is a rough start. A group with only one person is a ways away from actually queuing up for RBGs, and it might be just somebody who was in an RBG group that fell apart and they forgot to delist themselves. So going in with 2 or more people already in your group is a significantly better chance of getting an RBG group going than just starting by yourself. Step 2. Think of a creative name for your group. Something awesome like Drunk Noob Raffle Stompers. Step 2.1. Forget the creative name. You've got limited RBG title space, and you've got better things to communicate with it. Things like the fact that you're doing no voice, that you're actually calling a strat or typing it, looking for whatever class you still need in your group, and if you run RBGs a lot, you can put a short tag. Putting a little tag or identifier like Foxy or some short part of your name at the beginning of all your RBGs kind of starts a little bit of a brand for you. And people who enjoyed your RBGs, even if they don't get you on B-Tag, if they play a lot, they'll recognize that and come back later. 2.2. Actually list yourself in Pugfinder. Check off a minimum eye level even if you're doing YOLO. There's enough people doing PvP you can generally afford to be a little bit picky on eye level. Not too much, but just something that says, I didn't just ding at one, max level an hour ago. The description, I generally leave blank. It's optional in my opinion. Most people don't actually read it, especially if it's a long block of text. Step 3. Fill out your group. This is a cycle of invite, update the title, and then repeat. Every time you find what you need, update the next priority. I'd say start with the healers. They're hardest to find, generally at the lower ratings. Once you've got your healers, move on to look at the rest of your comp. Make sure you've got 3 healers. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to be satisfied with 2 healers. I've seen other higher rated groups do it. They're higher rated. They're not YOLOs. Get 3 because you're going to need that compensation for the baddies. Make sure you have enough base hitters. Make sure that you've got some sort of balance of melee and range, and unless you're trying to do some experimental gimmick comp, you're going to want something that can actually, focus stuff down, but also appeal for your heals. And also make sure that you have a flag carrier. Going into an RBG like Warsong Gulch without such will generally demoralize everybody. Step 4. Mark your healers. This is super easy to do. You started the group in the first place. And it does help people to find your healers and eventually peel for them. You're not going to have them all in voice chat to be able to yell at them, so do whatever small things you can in order to help your healers stay alive. Step 5. Hit a ready check. Another small, easy thing that you can do that will make sure that your group is all there up front. Worst thing that possibly can happen in an RBG to really demoralize your team is that somebody isn't ready and you end up 9v10ing someone. Even though it's supposed to be fun, even though it's only a YOLO or no voice group, 9v10 is generally something that will demoralize and stress out your team, even if you do win that game. Step 6, and finally, hit the Q button. Step 7, You've finally gotten into an RBG, now it's time to type out a strat. I've done several videos on strats for just about all of the maps. Check those out if you don't have any idea of what to do for a strat. Here you're just going to have to type fast, keep it simple, and take note of players that don't actually follow the strat that you typed out. You'll want to kick those later. Step 8. Maintenance. On nodes maps, you can use an add-on called Reporter Battleground Map. You've probably seen it on my other videos. The nice thing about this is that you can right-click on the map and, using different selections, direct your team to attack, defend, call inks, and stay away from certain objectives. It works best on node maps and less so on the flag maps. For flag maps, you're just going to have to type fast. Use raid warning chat if you can. Try and get lead of the group at the beginning so that you have access to raid warning chat. Raid warning chat or /RW will make whatever you type pop up in big bold letters at the top of everyone's screen. It's a little bit harder for them to ignore you. Step 9, the reset. When all things go bad, you're going to have to do a reset. Make sure that you get everybody back into a group, grouped up, and pushing on a single target. Trying to micromanage reset without voice can be ridiculously hard. To be honest, most people don't actually read a lot of what you're typing. But if you can just get everybody to group up into a proper team fight again, you'll have at least a bit of a chance of pulling that game back out. Blocks of strat text also generally take longer to type, and unless you're the one that's sitting in the graveyard till everybody's together, you're not going to have that kind of time. Step 10. Finish the RBG, win or lose, start another. You're probably going to have to replenish the people that drop. Some people only play for a game, some people only come for one win. After one loss, a lot of people will drop. Also pay attention to who didn't follow strat or who didn't perform at all. You can kick them, fill the group again, queue up again. Lastly, make sure that you're having fun. There's no point in doing this if you're not having fun. It's a game. This is your leisure time. Enjoy it. So there you have it. 10 steps to a night of no voice RBGs. Will you probably meet more people, have more fun, and ultimately win loads more RBGs with everyone in voice chat? I think so. But if you're just not ready to lead that kind of group yet, you don't have to wait for somebody else to start a no-voice RBG that you can join. You can start your own. These steps aren't hard, and anyone can do them. Anybody that comes into your groups and gives you crap for not being perfect, you can easily /ignore them. Thanks for joining me this week. If you enjoyed the vid, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, you made it this far into the video. Quick, find something entertaining to click on. Comment, subscribe, and I'll be back next week with another video. Hey, my WoW podcaster buddies and I recorded our monthly PvP Roundtable podcast. Check us out. Links in the description below.